Hi, everybody. This is Mr. Folly, and welcome to podcast 8.2, which has been failing me a bunch of times. So I'm just going to get right into it. Um, if there's a formula for making tricycles where I have 3 wheels plus 1 frame makes a tricycle, see, 3 wheels, 1 tricycle. So we need an infinite number of frames. How many tricycles can I make with 9 wheels? Well, if I start with 9 wheels, remember I'm trying to make a relationship between these. So I'm hating wheels. I put wheels on the bottom, and I want to go into tricycles, right? So I need an equivalency. 3 wheels equals 1 tricycle. So I take 9 divided by 3 and I could make 3 tricycles. Okay. Moles over moles, the same basic idea. Moles over moles uses coefficients. So if I'm given 12.3 grams of KClO3 and I want to figure out grams of O2, what I'm going to do is convert this into this, but I don't have a gram to gram equivalency. I only have a mole to mole equivalency. So I'm going to change everything into grams first. So 12.3 grams of KClO3 times dividing bar. I hate you grams of KClO3. Go into moles of KClO3. And then I go to the periodic table and I add them all up, and I've done this 6 times because my computer's crashed, so I hope you'll believe me, it's 122.55. And then I hate you moles of KClO3 because I'm trying to go to, notice how I labeled grams, right? So I'm trying to go to grams of O2, but I can't go right into grams. I have to go first into moles of O2. So I have a relationship between KClO3 and O2 in moles. 3 moles coefficient and 2 moles of KClO3. Okay, so 3 moles of O2 and 2 moles of KClO3. Now I want to get rid of the moles of O2. Hate you moles of O2. I want to go into grams of O2. Go to the periodic table. 16 times 2 is 32.00. And then I do the math. 12.3 divided by 122.55 times 3 divided by 2 times 32 is 4.82 grams of O2. Okay, let's do another one. KClO3 yields 2 KCl plus 3 O2. 4.53 grams, again 4.53 grams. How many liters of O2? So I'm going to go to liters of this. So again, to get from here to there, I have to go through moles. So let's do it. 4.53 grams KClO3 times dividing bar, grams of KClO3, 1 mole KClO3. It's the same one it was before, so it's still 122.55 grams when I go to the periodic table. So that cancels grams. I'm now going to cancel moles of KClO3. And I want to go into liters of O2, right? That's my goal. But I can't go right into liters. I have to go into moles first because I need a relationship between the two. Haha, you hit don't send again. So I have 2 moles of, oops, I put liters. 2 moles of O2. And, oops, I did that wrong, didn't I? I don't have 2 moles of O2. I have 3 moles of O2 and 2 moles of KClO3. So that gets rid of my moles of KClO3. Now I need moles of O2. And I want to go into liters of O2. And I need this to be equal. 1 mole of O2 equals 22.4 liters of O2. And I'll go to my periodic table. 4.53 divided by 122.55 times 3 divided by 2 times 22.4 is 1.24 liters of O2. Not bad. You see how the only difference is we're switching coefficients in there. 5.67 times 10 to the 23rd molecules of O2 reacts. That's this many. I don't want to write it again, neither do you. How many liters of CO2 will form? Okay, so what do I have to change this into? Moles, and then into moles of CO2, and then into liters. 5.67 E23 molecules O2, and already I'm hating the molecules of O2. That's 6.02 E23, and then 1 mole of O2, because you always have to go through moles. And then I want to get out of moles of O2, and I want to go into moles of CO2. And I need a relationship, 2 moles of CO2, 1 mole of O2, times dividing bar, moles of CO2, not moles of CO2, liters of CO2. And that's 22.4, and that's 1. And then I put that in my calculator. You heard the bell ring, so I'm going to let you put that in your own calculator. Okay? I am also going to skip this one because it took me 6 tries to get that. Maybe I'll have time to go back to it, but I'm not thinking I will. A limiting reactant runs out. A limiting reactant controls the amount of product formed. Those are definitions you should be comfortable with, okay? Excess reactant is extra. That's what excess means. If I have excess pencils, I have a pencil I can let you borrow. So in this case, which is limiting? Fe or S? So S is yellow, Fe is red. So as this reaction happens, they're going to form FeS. So looking here, these two will match up, these two will match up, these two will match up, these two will match up. Here, no, whoa, I put an M. No limiting reactant because they both run out. Actually, I guess they're both limiting, aren't they? Both are limiting because they both run out. Now here, if I match these up, oh, look. My limiting reactant is the red one. Fe is limiting because if I had more reds, I could make more yellow reds. Let's take a look at another one. Which is the limiting reactant and why? Okay, so N2 plus 2H2 makes 2NH3. So that means here's my N2, here's my H2. This one, N2, needs two of these guys, right? To make it, to split them apart. So N2 needs 2H2 to do this. And plus, if I look right here, see these are the guys that are left over? Which is the limiting reactant? N2, not N2, pardon me. Why? It is H2. It's got to be a reactant, right? It can't be NH3. H2, because it is used up. And really, if I add more H2, if I put two more of these guys, I go, oh, I want to make an ammonia molecule. Which is excess. Remember, excess is extra. So if I look over here, notice how I've got this poor guy that doesn't react. This poor guy, this poor guy, this poor guy. So which is excess? This guy. And I'm looking at someone as if there's something wrong with them because they're looking at me like they really want to have a conversation with me right now. And I can't figure out why. This guy is my excess guy. Why? It's extra. Review, always go through moles, always go through moles, always go through moles. So, since I'm done with that, I'm going to go back to that Silver Surfer one, just because, boy, do I like the Silver Surfer, and do one more. 15.8 grams of AgNO2 is added to excess lithium. How many grams will form? Now, this is my little happy dream of thinking that you guys remember how to do this, but my pen now doesn't work. So, in that case, I will say toodles. Yes?